I teased it on the board, just said, I just wrote $500,000 producer, big trip for 2025. Find out more. You want to hear a story?
I would love to.
Almost the end of the month here. I have 4 salespeople. We're on pace for 235K, and one of them is over 50K.
That's crazy. And you're literally days away from the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? Give me the secret sauce.
If you want to hear about it, Mr. Jason, you have to hang out till the very end.
Ooh, you're a teaser, Mr. Greg.
I sure am. In our sales meeting, going through some of the numbers, talking about a couple of our comp things that we have going for the team, and they're getting all pumped up, getting all excited.
And I'm doing a short frequently, right?
Yeah. You got to change it up. Doing shorter runs. Tend to get in the long end of the year one. I've always kind of done that. And what I've noticed, and I think you have too, is you get a little farther into the year, somebody gets behind, and all of a sudden they're so far gone they can't catch it. It's like a demotivator.
100%.
Right? I love the notion of it, but I think that it has to be above and beyond and something that's just crazy, like just off to the side. So we're doing something every week that's leading to really great weekly engagement from the team, right? So they're always fired up because they're competing weekly.
I love that.
It's not a ton, a couple $100 here and there, but or $100 for the week, or 50, or maybe it stacks if it's some number of quotes. But it's always some activity-based thing, has nothing to do with results. So whether they asked a certain thing from the script on the call, who did it the most, right? And then we'll make it fun, spin the wheel, do whatever, right? So let's talk about the big play, because I think this is fun. And I threw it out there because I really wanted to see with the team how fired up they get. I teased it on the board, just said, I just wrote $500,000 producer, big trip for 2025, find out more. And I just wanted to see what they would do. And all of a sudden they're asking, what's that? What's 500,000? And then instead of giving them the answer, he started telling them, oh, well, that is about 45,000 a month. They're like, no, how much we have to do. And so we just kept getting them excited, not telling them. I dropped it on them today. I talked to a travel agent, had them put together a little package that I could show them, a little $5,000 trip. And you may think, Mr. Craig, you're going to give out $5,000? I would happily give out $5,000 if somebody writes 500,000 in premium for the year, right? That would make sense all day long. And I didn't pull it out of the air. I looked at our lifetime value of somebody of 500,000 in premium, and look at what that turns into. It for us and for what we write, we're looking at well over close to 300,000 revenue if a producer writes 500,000. So can I afford the 5,000?
Of course.
Right. All day long. I could afford a much bigger trip. And I think the first bridge to cross will be for them to hit that, right?
Yeah.
Guess what, Mr. Jason? That was not the one thing either.
Ooh, so far we have our weekly stack, which I love. That always gives a fun element into the Monday through Friday. But now we have
energy.
That's why we always get in these conversations. And now I don't like the long play, but if you stack the weekly play with the long play, that's interesting, because I love that, because then there's like multiple levels to it. You have to have the short play, because that's exactly what they're doing, right around there. They're getting paid. One of those weeks has a commission check, so that's the level at which they're expecting things. So like if you can do weekly, you're on fire because they can see the results immediately. But now we stack this really cool long play on it, and I can't wait to hear what else.
And a little subset of the long play, we also showed them how much total commission that means for the year too. So that's an extra 30 grand in commission. And so then it's now connecting them to solve their biggest pain. Okay. Now this is the one thing. I do have one that has been here. Well, 2 of them have been here the same amount of time. One came and was a very strong salesperson. She's capable of hitting it more easily because it's not painful for her to do the activity, because she gets it. She does the stuff. Now, that's important because she's the person that the rest of them saw do it the first time. She's had her 50K month. They've seen it's possible, right?
Right.
And because they saw it's possible, they went through the pain. Even though you would avoid it, they did go through it because it wasn't as painful. We made it incremental. Like we just gradually over the last year kept moving them up until they were hitting it, and they saw that
she was able to achieve it.
That Angie was able to do it, right? So now they see it. So last month, all of them were over 35K. They might have all been over 40, which is the important part. So now they've all hit it. They all cleared their commission too. Like they didn't have chargebacks. They were solid. So
I want to congratulate you, because I don't care what other BS companies say that, oh, our sales agents reach this much and this much. We know the real numbers, and most of it's BS, right? but like to have 40,000 across, let's say it's 38 or even 35 average for 4 sales agents is phenomenal. A sales producer hit, I think, 54,000 1 month. That was the 4-minute mile. Do you want a freaking awesome sales team that is going to pay you ridiculous commissions in the future? So it might not be your return on investment. You're going to get a minimum of 4 renewals, I think.
Yeah.
It's free money at that point.
Like it's 2 businesses. You have the business that's just sitting there and creating the revenue on one side, and then you have your growth business on this side. And this one, the one that has the recurring, is helping fund the growth one. And then the growth one is kicking more back over to it's like this symbiotic thing. But if you don't think of it like that, I think it gets kind of worrisome. And then we're tracking the wrong activity against the wrong outputs.
You're an investor at that point.
Yes.
You're not just an agency owner, you are an investor.
Right.
You're working on the business in the other one. At that point, you're working as an investor.
Yes.
Now let's get back to our 50,000.
They all told Jazz this morning after I left, and they were all pumped. He said, all right, is everybody, great. You guys all cleared 40 this month. You're all going to hit it next month. They said, we can't afford to not hit over 40. They now reversed the pain. The pain is no longer, I need to do all this to write this, right? Which they'll figure out ways to avoid and never quite get there. Now the pain is, I can't afford to not do that activity because I have to have that. Right. So the pain is now losing the commission.
100%. It's the cost of not. The cost of not is everything. Subscribe, opt in for Internet Lead Secrets. I think it's like $7, but it's the awesome book that you'll get on Internet Lead Secrets that we're talking about now.
Hey, and if you don't want to spend the $7, that's fine. You can go get the newsletter. And we're going to give you great, tasty tidbits. And then you can taste them.
And that's a